Greetings, my friends. This is again Dr. Jimmy, and as you can see, it is in the dark of night, and I come to make my HHN 26 house cocktails for you. Yes, it is still Sunday the 4th of September, so I'm still wearing the Exterminate t-shirt, yes. And today we have come to the tomb of the ancients. Well, not literally. We haven't actually come to the tomb itself. That's somewhere out in deepest, darkest, kingest, Congest Africa. At least I think it is. It might be somewhere in the jungles of Central America. Or perhaps it's in the jungles of South Asia. Wherever it is, it's a jungle out there. That's apparent. But we're not quite certain where the damn thing's located. And the gods that are the ancient ones themselves, well, they're Egyptian gods, but they're also Asian gods, and gods from the cultures of South Central America, or Latin America if you prefer, but cultures that long precede the arrival of the Spaniards. In Portuguese, they gave it its name of Latin America. So, that led me thinking, when it came to devise a cocktail for this marvellous house, which would take us back into the time of the ancients, or at least would bring the ancient ones back to our time to try to take over again. Sort of like the great old ones, only not as squiddly diddly. As I don't think they are. Anyway, I had to figure out the cocktail. It was rather difficult. Put on my thinking cap for that one. But what did I have to do? Yes, indeed. We know that the mysterious deities known as the ancient ones do come from different cultures, but specifically from cultures on the continents of Africa, Asia, and of course Central and or South America. So why not make a cocktail devised of ingredients that have their origins in such locations? That would make sense, wouldn't it? And so I decided to make a sort of martini-based cocktail. In other words, not an actual one, but a similar sort of straight-up drink served in a martini glass, sort of like a martini or a Manhattan, but using these interesting ingredients. So first, of course, for the dark continent, not really dark at all, really. It's rather full of bright sunlight, really, but it's called Africa. We all came from Africa originally. They've proven that with our DNA. There is a lovely liqueur from Africa called amarula. It is a cream liqueur flavoured with the fruit of the amarula tree. A tree that elephants really, really like, and they'll tear down everything in their path to get to it. So we take some of that amarula. It's a cream cocktail, and a cream liqueur. Pour a little bit of it into this. That should be about, well, maybe a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll put that into this shaker. There we go, amarula. And that's for the gods of Egypt. I like the label, it's got an elephant on it. Yes. I first had that at a park that was very different from Universal. One further west on I-4, you know. The one with all the funny animals that aren't animatronic but are actual animals, except for the dinosaurs. Those are actually animatronic. And the Yeti. The Yeti's not real. But all the others are fun. Okay, now I think you know what I mean. Harambe, right? Yeah. There we go. Got this to open. This is, we've seen this before. I used it previously. This is Domaine de Canton. It is a ginger liqueur, French, but originally it came from what was called French Indochina. When that stopped being French Indochina and became Vietnam, they took the recipe back to France with them, and they don't make it there anymore. They might make their own ginger liqueur in Vietnam, I have no idea, but that's what this is originally. So it's an Asian liqueur in origin and recipe. And we're going to put that into equal parts. So again, I pour that into the, yeah, we're going to pour it as I said, put that in there. There we go. And finally, the New World. Africa and Asia, for those various deities of the ancient ones, and for any Mayan or Aztec deities that might also be lurking in the Tomb of the Ancients. We have this wonderful. It's Ancho Reyes. It's a Mexican chili, ancho chili liquor from Heroica Puebla, Zaragoza. Yes, very good. I hope I got that right. But well, spicy. So put that as well. Where'd my little jigger go? There it is. So pour some of that in here. Again, about an equivalent amount. So I have 3 equal parts of the 3 different liqueurs, some exotic parts. They were not all that exotic, but I suppose to somebody who's never left the Midwest, that would seem highly exotic. Yes. So, having put all 3 ingredients into my shaker, it's shaker time. Ooh, shake it up like the earthquake. Let the ground trembling beneath the great and mighty feet of the ancient ones. Ooh, ooh, shake it, shake it, I can't shake it like that because it's hasn't got a top. It's not that sort of shake. I got to do it the sideways thing, the sideways thing, the sideways thing, the sideways. Okay. And take my cocktail glass, and then we pour the beverage into the cocktail glass. And I sort of suspected it would come out a bit pink. Oh dear, that might be what can fit in it. There's more in the glass. Ooh, I mean more in the shaker. Don't want to overflow. It sort of looks a bit milky, sort of the colour of a, dare I say it, cobweb. Oh, now that's nice. Reminds me of something I had in China once. It does, really. It has definite Asian flavour, although the creamy fruitiness of the amarella with the ginger and the spice together, it really does remind me of something like that. Oh, I'm not done. One more thing must go in. The Eye of Horus. That's our garnish. I don't know if you can see the little guy peering at you from deep within because it's so cloudy you can't quite see. But he's in there. The Eye of Horus. That would be, of course, actually a maraschino cherry from Luxardo, because they're good ones. And I like it. It's got it does have an exotic flavour, really. I mean, the ginger and the amarilla fruit, of course, is not something you have every day. And the ancho chili, it does give a rather interesting flavour that's hard to describe. Of course, some more out of this, because, of course, there was a lot more in the shaker than could fit into the glass the first time, but now that I've had some, I can pour in the rest. There it goes. So, I think that was quite successful, really. This is actually quite good, and there's no harshness at all. It's quite smooth. I highly recommend it to all the drunkards out there who like my cocktails. Please get these ingredients and try them. Not that hard to find. You can get the amarula at Disney World, like I suggested earlier, especially during the Food and Wine Festival, which happens simultaneously with Horonites. Go to that African part of the park up on you know, in between Germany and China. They have that area that's supposed to be African, and it doesn't even have its own pavilion. It's just some, you know, but they might have it there during Food and Wine. And I know they serve it at the bar over in the Animal Kingdom, because that's the first place I ever had it. And you can also get it at Total Wine. All these ingredients are available at Total Wine. And Ancho Reyes, a lot of bars stock this nowadays. It's really good. And I've seen the ginger liqueur out and about as well. So, yeah, it works quite well. It's simply 3 equal parts, and works very nicely, actually. Slightly off-white, pinkish look. The creamy sort of Bailey's color of the Amarula, but the Ancho Reyes is sort of a reddish brown, and then the other one sort of a golden color, so it kind of matches, and slightly pinkish on top and less so down here. I don't know if there's something floating, a slight separation, I don't know. But definitely worth a taste. So I rather like this one. It turned out quite well. And next time, if there is a next time, the next time will likely be the first of 3 cocktails for American Horror Story. I have to devise a murder house cocktail, a freak show cocktail, and a hotel cocktail, all 3 different things, because they're 3 very different seasons of the program. And that'll be all the house cocktails that will be done this year. Will I do Scare Zone cocktails? I haven't really done that in the past. I'm thinking about it. Mainly because I came across a lovely rum the other day, and I thought, you know, I haven't done much rum this year, but it would go really well for Dead Man's Wharf. And so I was thinking, maybe I'll come up with that, but I have no idea what the other ones would be. I have to think about that. I might do that. I might do something for the Scare Zones this year. Pinocchio last year was kind of harassing me for not coming up with a cocktail for Scary Tales Scream Punk. And I said I don't usually do them for the Scare Zones, but I thought about it and came up with something for him. Basically, you know, wood alcohol and Fernet Branca or something like that, which would taste awful and be somewhat poisonous. But it has an Italian ingredient and something made of wood that's perfect for Pinocchio, right? But it wouldn't be safe to drink. Right. The cat is sitting on the bed with her mouth open. I think she's smelling things. You know, when cats smell something interesting, they do this, because they have an organ inside the mouth called the Jacobson's organ, and it allows them to smell things better than just using their nose. If a cat smells something that's interesting to them, you notice the cat will go, they do that. Just a tidbit of kitty trivia, in case you ever wondered why the cat's making a weird face when it's smelling something. It's a feline thing. It is good. It's also quite potent. You can't really tell when you're drinking it, it's so smooth. But those 3 liqueurs together, none of them are, there's a lot of punch to it. It's actually very nice and a tad elegant. I like it very much. Yes. Looking forward to that house, by the way, Tomb of the Ancients. They seem very proud of it. And when A&D are really proud of a house like that, it usually means it's very, very good. Last year, the one they had the similar reaction to was, in last year was the, what was it called? The original house, Body Collectors Recollections. That's the one they had that sort of, and I don't remember in 2014, except I think it might have been the Halloween house that they were really proud of. But the year before that, it was American Werewolf in London, the original one in 2013. So, ones that they're really excited about, that's usually, you know, the one they put an awful lot of heart into. And this year it seems to be Tomb of the Ancients. And they seem to be very happy with that one. So that should be quite interesting to see just, and of course being a professor of religion, I have a personal, you know, delight in this. What deities are we going to use? And I've been trying to figure that out. Of course, Egyptian gods, obviously, but what about the Asian and Mesoamerican gods? What are those going to be? Exactly which ones? How will they fit together? I'm pondering that all the time, and so I'm very excited about that. I hope they blend as well together as these three different liqueurs did. That's very nice. A little bit of sweet and spice. Two different kinds of spice, of course, the ginger spice and the chili spice, but they mesh fairly well with the other ingredient. But it does remind me of things I've had in Asia. They like mixing sweet and spice together, you know, Thai chilies and things like that. It has similar notes. I had something in China that this really reminds me of. Can't put my finger on what it was though. Got the cherry at the end. It might have been a cocktail they made at a hotel bar in Xi'an, which was sort of a lychee, you know, lychee fruit, a lychee infused martini of some sort they created at the at that particular hotel in Xi'an. But I'm not sure if that was what I'm thinking of or something else. At any rate, it's good. And so that is my Tomb of the Ancients cocktail. Obviously it liked it. The next time I do cocktails, I'll do American Horror Story cocktails. Of course, I'll be doing other videos between now and then. Most likely, Horror Nights History, Part 15 for Halloween Horror Nights 23. Not to mention more of my Who's Who videos for other characters upcoming this year. So starting off with Michael Myers, and at some point I plan to do a future history video where I talk about Halloween Horror Nights 27. It's really early to be speculating about 27, but I have some ideas of certain things that I really expect will probably happen that year, and a couple other things that could happen and might happen, and a few things that there's a reason why they could happen, but they're more likely never to happen. It sounds quite wacky, but it'll make sense when I do it, I hope. So with that being said, cheers, and drink responsibly, and if you're under 21, don't drink at all. And whatever you do, don't drive and drink. And if you're not driving and drinking, but you are driving, don't text while you're driving either. Everyone be safe and alive so that you could enjoy Horror Nights this year, and the year after that, and the one after that. Very good. So that's it for this video. Till next time, this is your Dr. Jimmy signing off.